Cusack has a guest joining by Skype to help parents who are trying to teach kids at home. Lots of them out there.
Oh, and Graham, many of those parents are juggling working from home as well. So, how do you establish routine and ensure your kids are still learning? While governments have put resources in place for online learning, many parents want more. Jennifer Flanagan is the CEO of Actua, an organization founded by educators. Jennifer's on the line, and you're also a mom of a 7 and 11-year-old.
Yes, two girls at home.
So you're living this.
Oh, yes. I'm very much living this by the minute, and can really feel for all the parents out there that are having to work and fit in work full time with not only keeping kids engaged through the day, but also that worry about, are they learning? How do we continue that learning while they're not in school for the foreseeable future?
Now, this is part of the STEM learning. Explain what STEM learning is all about.
Yeah, so STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. And really, these are activities that incorporate a whole range of skills and things that keep kids engaged and their minds occupied. So it's everything from simple science experiments they can do at home to going outside and observing things, in nature that are around them, to the more, the thing everyone's talking about, screen time and technology, and of course the math as well, which is so critical. But STEM learning means activities that kind of pull all those things together, where the kids are using several skills at once.
Jennifer, we're looking at this free resource on your website. We're showing the web page, and we're linking.
Yes.
Actually, there's a solar system example there. And all of this is free. We're happy to share, and we'll have it on our website for those who are interested. But the whole idea before this, because obviously this was prepared long before COVID-19.
Well, yes, absolutely, and we've been adding to that, because one of the good things that's happening is there's a lot of resources and ideas out there for parents to do at home. The challenge is how we curate that. How do we know which activities to do? How do we figure it out by age? So Actua's website has actually done that. You can sort it by age. There's activities on there that are unplugged, so you don't need a screen to do them. Very easy. We know parents need things that can be directed by the kids, where the parents don't have to do a lot of work, and again, that are engaging, fun, and where kids are learning at the same time. So there's a whole bunch of things on that website, from activities to podcasts to websites we recommend to even video games that are productive.
So you mentioned the word routine, sort of, or
Yes.
schedule. How do families establish that?
So a lot of, I actually like it's the word routine versus schedule. Everyone's talking about a schedule, and we've all seen those examples online. But routine actually is a little bit easier to get your head around. Schedules can go off track, and people get frustrated. So really having some anchors during the day that kids understand and can depend on. We all benefit from routines. So in my house, for example, the anchors are simply meal times. We all get up and have breakfast together. We talk about what the day is going to entail, when there are going to be chunks of time that are very important for parents during the day for work. And then they know that there's, lunch at a certain time and dinner at a certain time. Then that gives us sort of 2 blocks of time during the day. We also know that the most productive time during the day for us as adults, and this is the same for kids, is in the morning. So what I have found has been working really well is to kind of put that more learning school time in the morning block. And that's where you're going to do some of the math and the reading and the writing, any of these activities that the kids are getting now from their teachers. When we start to actually get the resources through the Department of Education, you can do those in the morning. And then I like to leave the afternoon for more sort of creative time. That's when you can do the STEM activities. That's when they can get outside. And that's when the screen time also can happen. And I think we're going to talk about screen time in a little bit. But
we absolutely are. Thank you for bridging us to that. I mean, we are early afternoon, so it is a little bit more relaxing. You're out of class right now, but we will be back with more of Jennifer Flanagan and some tips for those parents turned teachers. One is adapting, and many parents are adapting to the new role as teacher. We have Jennifer Flanagan on the line with us. She's the co-founder of Actua and also a mother teaching her kids at home. You were a student when you founded this organization, Jenny.
Yes, I got involved when I was in university. We recognized that there was a big gap in what kids knew about science and engineering. And we started with a series of summer camps. And to this day, that's really the core of what Actua does across the country. We engage about 500,000 kids across the country in hands-on science, technology, and engineering programs, again, that build that confidence and skills that we know are so critical for them in the future.
So your own kids, 7 and 11, just give us a little bit of a
Yes.
sense of the word was routine, a sense of your learning routine, and then we'll chat about screen time.
So again, we are iterating on this on a daily basis, and this is what I do. I have access to every possible resources, and it's still challenging. So I want that message to be clear. We didn't all go to bed and wake up as homeschool teachers, right? So in our house, what I found has worked the best is to get those learning activities in the morning. So we try to give, again, in a routine versus a schedule. I want to see them doing a bit of math, some reading, some writing. Some in our case, the kids like music, so they're doing some music, and if they can get some of that stuff in, and I like to also say that it doesn't matter how much per subject time you're getting, as long as you're getting in those basic activities. And I also want to give a shout out because we're getting a ton of questions about how to keep up those math skills. And I've gone through a lot of websites with my kids on math, and the one that I have really liked the most is called IXL. It's based on Ontario curriculum. It has all of the learning outcomes. It's really fun. Like I'm not ashamed to admit that I've spent some time on it myself in the evening. It's really motivating. So you go on, and it's even good for kids at home who can't read, and that's a big challenge, right? If your kid can't read yet, how do they engage in some of these resources? So this actually reads it to them. They do the math exercise. You can send reports to their teachers. It's really great. So that's called IXL.
Thank you for repeating that. Now, this whole experience, as surreal as it is, has been a learning opportunity. What's your advice on how to not overwhelm young people? And of course, the amount you share is dependent on the age of the child, but you've thought that through, how to... Go ahead.
One of the things that I think is an incredible learning opportunity right now, and you have to be careful with how much of the information that you yourself are consuming. We all know that watching this all day and reading all of the stories can have an impact on our own mental health, and that's certainly the case for kids. One of the things that I have loved talking about with our kids, and certainly we are going to develop some activities on at Actua, is the incredible way that companies and people have been innovating through this. So we're seeing examples of this all the time, right? A company who shifts very quickly in their manufacturing to actually be able to produce new models, new materials, new products that are helping in the fight of COVID. And that ability to kind of shift and transition and think about new ideas is so essential and such a great conversation to have with kids. What kinds of things could you think of that we could, change to actually help in the fight against COVID? And that's we've had that conversation in my house, and it's been really fun to think of different ideas.
What a great
example.
It's
just a more positive way to look at this.
Great. Fantastic example. We only have about 20 seconds left, and I wanted to speak to those in high school who, of course, are very stressed because a lot of plans are on hold. There is something that you recommended, an artificial intelligence site.
Yeah, so that's on the actual website. It's called an AI learning tool. So it gives kids in high school the opportunity to learn about something, artificial intelligence, which is so critical now and will be critical in the future. It's also done in a really accessible and a really fun way. So I don't want to forget about those high school students out there who are needing to gain skills during this time as well.
Jennifer Flanagan, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for sharing this option. We have a link to Actua. It's actua.ca/resources. That will be on our website as well. Take care, and good luck as the homeschooler, but thanks for developing the site for everyone else.
Yeah, nice to see you. Thanks.
You too.
All right, thanks, Leanne.